All right, it's been exactly a week since the massive Palisades wildfire broke out in Los Angeles. It's still only 17% contained, and it could take weeks, as we just heard from the fire chief, to get under control. NewsNation spoke exclusively to two people who believe they were among the very first to spot the devastating fire as it started. They gave us video showing just how quickly it spread. And tonight they have questions about what they believe was a slow response by the city of Los Angeles. Joining us now is NewsNation investigative correspondent Rich McHugh. Rich, they claim they didn't see any response until 45 minutes after they called 911.
It's hard to believe, Elizabeth, but I wouldn't have believed it either until I saw the video. Michel Valentine, he's a former U.S. attorney for 8 years under Kamala Harris. He and his wife, they live at the top of Pacific Palisades, right next to this ridge line where the fire broke out. He says his wife called at 10:29 a.m. Tuesday morning. That's when they first saw it, and they didn't see anybody come for at least about a half an hour, 45 minutes before they dropped some water. Take a look. It is 10:34 a.m. Tuesday, January 7th. These are some of the first images of the start of the Palisades fire. Describe what you saw.
An intense plume of smoke that was rising and moving very fast. It was black in some areas and white in other areas, but you could see it was moving quickly.
2 minutes later, the smoke plume grows. No sign of anyone fighting the fire at this point. The fire isolated on the ridge behind the home of longtime Pacific Palisades resident Michel Valentine. He documented it all on video, giving NewsNation an exclusive look of where it started and how quickly it grew. By 10:50, the plume had spread considerably, twice as large. 8 minutes later, the size of the fire seems to have doubled yet again. Still nobody fighting the fire. At 11:13 a.m., nearly 45 minutes after Michel's wife called in the fire, you see a chopper come through. At 11:23, a helicopter comes in, begins to dump water on it. But at this point, the fire is massive and moving quickly down this ridge line. That was the first time we saw them drop water, is that right?
Correct.
And then, did you ever see any firefighters up there?
I did not see any firefighters up there.
Why do you think that is?
That's the question. I don't know. I wish I knew the answer to that. I have no idea. I have no idea why that is. It could have been confined. It wouldn't have touched any of the homes. I don't believe that for 1 second. You're talking to somebody that's been up in this community for 40 years, and I've seen fires. And I've seen fires during those 40 years, and there's always been a good response. I don't know what happened this time.
What we know happened this time is this. We know the Santa Ynez Reservoir near where the fire began was empty, and the head of LADWP confirmed they ran out of water.
There's a lot we can do, though.
Even the president seemed to shrug off the concerns over lack of water.
I know you're getting a bad rap about these fire hydrants don't have enough water in them. Give me a break.
In my opinion, as a former prosecutor, this verges on criminal negligence, I say. It's just wrong. A lot of people are at fault. I think Mayor Bass bears the ultimate responsibility for this failure, and I think she should be held accountable. There's no way that I could trust her again as my mayor in light of this tragedy. There's no way. Now, I asked Los Angeles Fire Department what time the first call came in. They said it came in at 10:29 a.m., which corresponds with her call to 911. I asked, when was the first time they had firefighters on scene? They have yet to respond to that. Now, I spoke to Michel Valentine earlier, and he said he has yet to hear from investigators. He even called the ATF and the FBI, who were in front of his home, but he couldn't get through. Elizabeth?
All right. Rich McHugh reporting from L.A. County. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.